Hi, it's Patty Wipfler here, and I'm so glad that you're back here or have just found Hand in Hand. We have some listening tools that really can change your life and really strengthen and warm your relationship with each of your children, no matter how difficult that relationship may have become. So, and the listening tool I'm going to talk about today that we outline in the book Listen, 5 Simple Tools to Meet Your Everyday Parenting Challenges, is setting limits. And I think in my mind, all the tools go together, and they don't, none of them work all that well if you only use one. The tools are sort of a concert of ways to connect with your child and ways to make it safe for your child to offload the feelings of upset and all kinds of different feelings that get in their way of really being their best and most creative and most cooperative and most thoughtful selves. And setting limits is a very important tool. Sometimes when people hear about special time, they think, oh, this is such a permissive parenting approach. You just tell a child, well, I'll do whatever you want to do. What do you want to do? And where are the limits? How do children not grow up to be uncivilized if there are no limits? And actually, that's a misunderstanding of who we are and what we put forward. Setting limits early and often is very important. It's a very important part of our approach. And the setting limits tool is like almost nothing that most of us saw as children. It's not the way our parents set limits. And setting limits using our thinking about it makes it so that when you set limits, you can do it with confidence that it is the very best thing for your child, that you are being a good parent, that no matter what they tell you about how awful you are, or how mean or how thoughtless or how unloving they feel like you are, you can have confidence that it is a good thing to do, and that you and your child will come out the other end of this limit setting episode closer than before and in better contact than before. And that oftentimes, when children show us that they are off track and they can't think well, it is the most thoughtful and kind thing to do to set a limit with your child. And that after your child unloads the feelings that were driving him or her off track, they will be able to relax, their day will go better, and they will be one step farther in thinking better in an area where they have difficulty. So it is a tool for great progress between parent and child, and it's a tool that lets you put your head on your pillow at night and go, "Oh, hard day, but I did my job. I loved my kid, and we will have a better day tomorrow." And that's really how we want to be able to put our heads on our pillow at night as parents. It's what we want the most. So the kind of setting limits that we are talking about is not anything that you have seen very much of. It's not telling a child what to do and expecting them to do it. It's not lecturing a child about, the harm they caused or all the reasons why they shouldn't have done what they just did and shouldn't do it again. It's not reasoning with a child, trying to get them to agree with you to do something differently. It's not threatening. It's not punishing. It's not promising consequences. It's not ignoring a child and hoping they figure it out. It's none of those things. What it is just bringing the limit. You bring yourself and you make it impossible for your child to pursue the thing they're doing, which is not working well. And sometimes you do that very quickly without thinking twice, because what they're doing is, beating on their younger sibling, and you've got to get there to keep everybody safe. But rather than scold or punish or yell, say a child has been, hard on their younger sibling and aggressive, you move in and you bring the limit. You move the child away from the sibling they're attacking, but you don't do a whole bunch of other stuff. In particular, you don't talk. You might say, can't let you do that. That would be, can't let you do that. That's 5 words. That's about the limit of words that a child can process when they are thinking so poorly that they are being hard on someone else in an obvious way. And so you just say something, oh, I'm here. Uh-uh, no, no, no. Or come here, come on over here. Or uh-uh, no. It's you coming in and stopping the irrational behavior. And then you are quiet, because what your child needs is to go in and feel the feelings that were driving that behavior. They cannot get to those feelings and shed them. They can't get through those feelings to the other side and improve their thinking unless you give them the room to do it. So you give them, 100% body language. I'm here. I'm with you. I see. I'm not going to let that happen. But you don't say very much. You let them find what's going on inside. You let them tell you how awful you are. You let them scream and stomp and throw themselves around. You let all of that happen because that's exactly where they needed to go. And that's the healing process that they were trying to trigger by doing something so outlandish as to draw your attention. So, our setting limits is you bring the limit and then you bring one of the other listening tools. You bring yourself and stay listening. You bring yourself and perhaps play listening, because there are playful ways of setting limits that get laughter going, which then helps your child more deeply connect with you and offload some of the lighter fears that were bothering them. Sometimes what they need is a tantrum, and you just stop them from banging away at something that they might break because it won't work the way they want it to. And then they can slow down and have that tantrum, which allows them to actually come back to learning nice and fresh and ready with an open mind to see what happens when they try it this way and try it that way. So it's a revolutionary way of thinking of setting limits. As you try it, you can begin to toss consequences. You can begin to toss punishments. You can begin to stop. I mean, it's like yelling will not happen as often from you. Well, it may happen from your child, because every limit brings a protest, because every limit stops action that is governed by unruly feelings. And when you stop that action, the unruly feelings have a chance to be expressed, and you have a chance to receive it all and heal the lack of connection there. Really get on your child's side with this healing process and appreciate how fully they go into their feelings, and appreciate how long those feelings last, and appreciate the deep intensity of it all, because that is what it takes to get rid of a feeling. You have to really scrub, you have to really feel every little bit of it, and all the, and you have to say then the unhappy things that go along with that feeling. So you're there to use the other listening tools and to keep holding the limit so your child can keep feeling these awful feelings until they go away. Right? That, in a nutshell, is it. And, if you take a look at this book, Listen, which Tasha Shore and I wrote together, you will find so many stories of setting limits this way and that way and the next way. So there's a story about, setting a limit on hitting. There's a setting a limit in the middle of a sibling dispute. There's a story of setting a limit when a child lies about, who hurt the baby, when it was them, and they're pretending it wasn't. Setting a limit around aggression, setting limits around music practice and homework. And slowly but surely, as you carry your child through great big emotional upsets after you've set a limit, you will see that over and over again, when you bring yourself and not all of the heated stuff that your parents brought to setting limits, they feel closer to you afterwards. The issue that, the thing they wanted and desperately needed that you're saying no to, the issue just disappears. It's like they don't need it anymore. They don't care. Tomorrow will be fine, or next week will be fine. Um, and and that will give you confidence that I don't know how else you get as a parent. Just the confidence that even in the hard times, even when your child is just nuts and you set a limit, your relationship will be stronger afterwards. And that kind of confidence is what allows us to relax as parents in a way. It's what allows us to begin to believe that all the little things that we do every day are going to amount to a child who can think, who can be thoughtful of others, who can cooperate, and who knows how to use his or her intelligence very, very well in the world by the time they're, entering adulthood. So, and that's really, I don't know, that kind of confidence is priceless. And you won't get it the very first time you set a limit, I don't think. It took me probably, I don't know, more like a year or a year and a half before I had a lot of confidence in the goodness and the rightness and the love that setting a limit brings to a child. I mean, I think one thing you have to know is your child never wants to hurt somebody. They never want to be thoughtless. And so when you set a limit on thoughtless behavior or hurtful behavior, nutty behavior, you are keeping them safe from feeling bad about themselves. You are letting them work on the feelings that are driving them. And when they're finished, they have you, backing them, and they can feel that you back them, and they haven't hurt anybody. You stopped it. You prevented, that hard thing from happening where they had to feel terrible because they were hard on someone else. So you can become a really good limit setter. It takes work on ourselves, but we have a listening tool for that. And I don't know, the benefits are huge. So I hope you enjoy exploring this tool. I hope you enjoy the book that Tasha and I wrote for you. We just wanted other parents to have the benefit of our experience and the experience of about 130 other parents who gave us stories for the book. It's full of riches for you. So enjoy. Bye bye.